Alright guys, it is the second day of me trying, or technically the third day of me building on the car myself before it gets ready for the shop. In the previous video, obviously I was unable to get the car started. I changed the plugs and new battery. So what I did is, since it wasn't starting, I went ahead and to do a deflood procedure. There was some really crappy oil and water from the not water, but gasoline from the premix, and so I went ahead and flooded that out. Reason that being is, even though I let it run and idle like you should, never turn a rotary off when it's cold or you'll flood city. My tune's been running really rich, and that's one reason I've been trying to take it in, is because it is running way too rich. And as most of you rotary boys know, these engines already run crazy rich to begin with. So dumped all the extra shit that was in the rotor out. So after that, went ahead, replugged the fuel pump back up, and it honestly took me maybe 5 minutes of cranking on and off. Finally got it going. Poured a ass load of smoke. I had to leave my garage open all night and the windows down in the house to make sure we didn't die, because holy fuck, it was bad. But today I've actually been having, shout out to my sponsor Mishimoto for supplying me with parts. As always, I run a radiator from them, and it's amazing. If you have any kind of cooling issue with your rotary, which most people will run into, definitely recommend getting a radiator from them. I'm not getting paid to say that. I 100% truly believe in their parts. Anything cooling related, I will always run. So I went ahead and got a thermostat from them back a while ago. Just now today I'm getting around to it. My GoPro's dead, so I didn't get to film taking off the thermostat housing, but as you can see, it's obviously 1, 2, 3 bolts that you have to undo. It will take a little bit of prying to get the old gasket off. As you can see, I've replaced it before and there's still some old crap in there. So I just had to pry it off real quick. Didn't take long. Got it kind of a little bit of antifreeze I didn't expect to be in there, because I figured it was honestly pretty dry. So gonna go ahead, pop in the new one, and hopefully that'll do just enough to where I don't have to tow this thing to the shop. I can just take it easy and cruise it there. Obviously, with the leak that it's having, I won't be able to get on boost at all, so I'm not going to bother filming that. It's not going to be anything fun. It's just going to, honestly, like, filming in this car is not even good quality to begin with because of how loud it is, even in the cab. So a lot of shots that you see of me driving this car will be from the outside view, obviously, because there's no point in me talking, trying to drive this thing. So I'm going to take this to RZG Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, and get those gaskets replaced. Hopefully that fixes the coolant leaks and the gas leaks and my boost problems, and then hopefully we get the new fuel system in, and well, I'm not going to list any numbers, but you'll see on the dyno of what this little engine is actually capable of. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to put the new thermostat in. As you can see, here is the old one. You just got to simply, it just pops out. Well, if I can get it to pop out, I'm going to have to get a screwdriver and put my camera down. Okay, but seriously, you just pop that out, put in the new one, get you a good gasket. It's pretty cheap. I think they're like $8 a tube at any kind of AutoZone, and just make sure you let it set overnight for about, I think it's 24 hours before you even turn the engine on. That way it settles. Make sure you get like a highly rated one, because you don't want this crap to give out at high heat just from like normal operating, like racing temperatures. But yeah, it's a pretty simple process. I just wanted to go ahead and knock it out today and let the car run again, just so I can let some extra gas go through it, let it run for a little bit. And yeah, so I'm going to knock that out real quick, and I will see you guys at the shop. Alright, battery died on the GoPro. Went ahead and swapped him a new one. Sorry about that. So, like I was saying, I don't know what all is going to end up happening. For all I know, more things can keep coming up on this thing. Luckily, I will have enough money extra on top of what I'm expecting the cost to be. Right now it stands I'm not going to be spending a whole lot of money to get this thing running to what I want it to be, but I never know, something can blow out. I mean, there could be more gasket issues come up. Could be 1,000 things go wrong. I mean, it's a rotary. I don't really expect much. So hopefully not too much ends up going wrong. I will show you this. I'm not the smartest person ever for thinking ahead. So obviously the engine had a bunch of extra shitty fuel thrown into the engine when I did a flood procedure, and obviously it started shooting it out of the exhaust, which I didn't think through ahead of time, even though I've done it before. Due to issues when I first got it, it had fouled spark plugs. Or the spark plugs were very close to fouling, to where it was having really crappy startups from the previous owner. So I've done it before, and I didn't think about all the crap that came out the first time. And I had my bumper sitting here. I have it sitting down that way now. I don't really care about the paint on it, because the bumper is actually chipped in the front from the same car show that I lost my headlight cover. So that thing's going to get sanded down and fixed. But regardless, it did shoot a bunch of shit all over it. So you can see, trunk's very dirty. The car needs a lot of cleanup. I have the rear bar disconnected from taking in and out batteries. I do have the battery mounted in the back, which I actually do like a lot, because that leaves you a lot of room up front for any extra goodies that you want to throw into an RX7. You don't have to worry about room at all, because I mean, it's already a small engine, single turbo setup. I mean, there's still plenty of room. I could easily mount a second one, which I've debated on in the future maybe, but honestly, if I was to ever pull this engine, it's probably not going to be a two rotor again. Not saying I will never LS swap this. If my buddy Chris is watching this, I already know what you're thinking. LS swap it, and no, I'm not going to. I actually did make a bet with him recently. We're going to go up to Virginia International Raceway. I don't think the bet's we never really agreed on it, but I told him if I make a faster lap, he has to rotor swap his ZL1, and if he wins, I have to LS swap my car, which we never really shook on it, but we'll see about that. So that pretty much concludes all that's I can really talk about until this thing gets to the shop. I'll probably go ahead and pull this headlight off, because I'm not going to be... I mean, I will be driving this thing back from the shop, which is kind of sketchy. Hopefully, the only way I'll be able to do that is if it's early in the day, because the headlights are disconnected right now. I actually need to get this thing registered. So that pretty much concludes everything. I'll catch you guys at the shop. This is going to come up before we load it up and take it to the shop. I'm going to post this coming Sunday. And then the following video of us getting it to the shop will either come out Wednesday, the day after we take it, or that Sunday, depending. I'm trying to keep as much film as possible coming, and it's going to be kind of difficult with this car being in the shop. And for the Corvette, some things are going on with it that I can't really talk about right now. I'm trying to kind of keep that in the shadows till everything goes through with it. And then you all will obviously know. If you're wondering why the fuck I'm wearing a hoodie, I keep my house ice fucking cold, and I'm burning up right now because I came outside to film this real quick to finish up this video. So I will catch you guys at the shop when this car is making some beautiful power. And I hope you guys are here to stick around for the long haul with this car project, because I'm pretty excited to see what it can do. I've had this car for too long to not be putting the miles on it. For my close friends that know, this engine has like 800 miles on it, maybe. The previous owner put like 500 on the block. I put maybe a couple hundred on it. The odometer doesn't work. I mean, the car together, as the odometer sits, was only 75,000. So, I mean, the car as a whole was good. The engine, however, is like too brand new to not be driving. So I'm really glad I finally got the money together to finally get this thing in the shop. Plans are going right. I'm not busy. So it's going to be an exciting time for when this thing comes out. I mean, you guys are, I'm really hoping when I show you guys the dyno sheet in the video coming up, like, it's going to blow your minds for a little two-rotor. So I'll catch you guys next week. I hope you stick around for the build. Make sure if you're wanting to keep up with this, follow my Instagram. I tend to post there every day on some updates of what's going on. Also, make sure you subscribe so you can keep up with this build and any other future things going on.